Good morning, welcome to JALI. My name is Dayane, and my research is irony in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, a study of Elizabeth Bennet's discourse. Now I'm going to start my presentation. Just a second. Okay. So then you see the introduction. Pride and Prejudice is the second most famous novel that was written by Jane Austen. It has as focus a troubled relationship between Elizabeth Bennet and Fitzwilliam Darcy. It is constructed upon dialogues. You see Elizabeth constantly resisting against the conventions of her society through her discourse. And in this study, it will be analyzed the heroine's use of irony through her speaking, through her discourse, which is Elizabeth Bennet. Then you see an overview of the author. Jane Austen was an English novelist who was born on December 16, 1775 in England, and she is considered to be the one who gave the novel its modern character. She wrote about ordinary people in everyday life, and she's also known for her four main novels, that is Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, and Emma. And her main characteristic in her writing style is the use of irony. She uses a lot of irony in her narratives and in her character's discourse. And she is considered to have created strong heroines, that is, women who have notable personalities, as Elizabeth Bennet. Here you have an overview of Pride and Prejudice, the plot. The narrative has as main focus the relationship between Elizabeth Bennet, a daughter of a simple and modest gentleman, and Fitzwilliam Darcy, a well-established aristocrat. They first met at a ball, but in the first moment, he judged Elizabeth due to her social class and family, because she was in a lower lower social position than he, and she judged him as a snobbish and rude man. They faced the first impressions along the novel and discovered together that both are very similar. They are very proud, and their thoughts about each other were wrong. Darcy falls in love with Elizabeth's high spirit, strong personality, and intelligence, and finds in him a noble and gentleman in the end of the novel. Here you can see the analysis of the discourse. Discourse is a large topic, and it has a lot of definitions nowadays. But in this study, discourse is going to be presented as a communicative issue. And I chose Bakhtin to talk about it. And he says that all the diverse areas of human activity involve the use of language. So according to Bakhtin, it's not possible to have human interaction without discourse, without language. And he says that Mikhail Bakhtin says that communicative acts only have meaning, only take on the specific force and weight in particular situations or contexts. So you can see that discourse can merely function when it is in context. It's not possible to analyze discourse without context. You have to know who said that, for whom it was directed, and so on. And the last quotation from Bakhtin says that the word or discourse shows the ideology of its speaker. So when someone speaks, you can analyze what he thinks, what are the main beliefs, perspectives through their discourse. Then you see the study of irony. I chose Linda Hudson Fury to talk about irony. And she says that irony is an argumentative strategy focused on the power of confront certain social statements of a specific time. And she says that irony happens in something called discourse. So you can see the connection between discourse and irony. She also says that irony accentually involves relations of power based in relations of communication. It's not possible to see irony happening without human interaction, without communication. And irony can be considered to be formed through a relation both between people, so human interaction, and also between meanings, the said and the unsaid. And the last quotation from Chambers says that irony is a matter of unspoken understandings. So when the ironist says something, the receiver, the audience, has to know the ironist's intentions, to analyze the sentence, to analyze the discourse. Because if they do not know, they can lose the full understanding, the full meaning of what was said. Then you can see the analysis of Elizabeth's discourse. I brought you two examples. The first one is in chapter 6, and Elizabeth is talking to her friend, Miss Charlotte Lucas. And the theme of the conversation is that Charlotte says that Jane, Elizabeth's older sister, should be fast marry Charles Bingley. But in this time in the narrative, the reader already knows that Elizabeth does not agree that women should marry based on relations, on economic relation, and they should marry based on love. And she says to her friend, "Your plan is a good one," replied Elizabeth, "where nothing is in question but the desire of being well married. And if I were determined to get a rich husband, any husband, I dare say I should adopt it." You see my emphasis towards well married, because here Elizabeth does not want to say well married, but she truly wanted to say poorly married. So she changed the words, and that's what Hudson says about the connection between the two sayings, what the ironist said and what they wanted to say. That was the opposite. Then you have the last one, the second example, that is still in chapter 6. Now Elizabeth is getting closer to Sir William Lucas, her friend's father, and Mr. Darcy conversation. And when she gets closer, Sir William suggests that Darcy takes Elizabeth to dance, but she says that she does not want to dance with him because she knows that he does not like her. And Darcy insists in dancing with her, and then she says, "What is in the box?" "Mr. Darcy is all politeness," said Elizabeth, smiling. You see the emphasis in the word politeness, because here you have another irony. You see that Elizabeth said politeness, but she thinks Darcy is a rude man, not a polite man. And in this time, Sir William does not comprehend what Elizabeth was trying to say, because in the narrative, he agrees with her. And you see the quotation that Chambers said about irony is made true here. because he says that irony is a matter of unspoken understandings. So the audience, the receiver, has to know the ironist's intentions to comprehend, to interpret the full sentence. And Sir William did not know what Elizabeth was trying to say. Then you have the conclusion of the study. Pride and Prejudice is a classic novel that is still famous and relevant in contemporary times. The narrative development shows a great number of themes that could be explored in many studies. But in this research, the most frequent use of irony in the discourse of the female protagonist, that is Elizabeth Bennet, was the chosen object for the analysis that is still in progress, analyzing how this linguistic source is manifested over her discourse. And Mikhail Bakhtin and his circle were the main theoreticians used to explain discourse, the meaning, the definition of discourse. And Linda Hutchins' theory about irony was the fundamental base to analyze it. Then you have my references. Thank you all.